we got a nice catch here. Nice. Fresh meat, and it got a fair amount on you. Boy, you're gonna cook up nicely.
Cook?
Oh, yes, we'll do you justice. A few sprigs of scragweed and some cogroot. Oh, and you'll be just right for us. I'll get you.
I'll get him.
Well, it's on his asshole. You'll regret that.
We don't tolerate criminals here.
That's not any use to me now.
Just give me a minute to calm down, will you? Calming. Whew. Shit. A moment longer and those cannibals would have had me over the fire. There's enough creatures out here trying to eat me without people trying it as well. Shit. That's not something I want to go through again. Hell. You've not got anything to drink, have you? Something to help a man get his head screwed back on?
Here. This should help.
That's good. There's something about a near-death experience that makes everything taste golden. You saved me. I mean, you saved my life. And I've learned a lot about Magaland's history. But cannibals? I haven't heard of anything like that since the dark days after the comet hit. Most of what we live on in Tavar is from the past. So history is profitable. Interesting, too. You should learn it.
What are you doing out here?
The light beacon. I've always been fascinated by them. They used to be a cry for help, or a way to give help, direction, guidance. I've seen leaders come and go in the fort, and there's only one constant. You have to rely on yourself. So, I look for ruins, visit the beacons, and I find things to earn shards, so I don't need anyone else.
You came out here on your own?
That wasn't the plan, no. I know these lands better than to come alone. I was traveling with a pair of scrap collectors. They needed a lead. I needed some help. On our way there, we got ambushed by a group of clerics. I didn't want a chance to fight with them. They were much better armed. So I got out of there.
What happened to the scrap collectors?
They didn't make the same choice. That's the problem with some people of their age. They think every fight is winnable. They think running away is the wrong thing to do. Yet, here I am at my age. I just wish I'd had their legs for running. The clerics caught up with me and took me prisoner. I'm here, aren't I? I waited until it was dark and I got out. I guess they thought I was too old to guard. And I got away with their leader's weapon. I think that must have made them angry. Now those clerics are out hunting for me. You can hear their horns. That's why I thought I'd head for the beacon. Get some scrap, and get myself back to Tavar. Shards would mean safety. But you know what happened next? Damn Reavers. Life sure is cheap out here.
Is there something you need?
No, I'm okay. Don't waste your time on my old bones. The only thing I'm interested in is stories. And I don't think you are the storytelling type.
What do you know about the Alps?
Hardly anyone knows anything about them. I mean, other than about their attacks.
Maybe I could tell you a story about them?
Now I am curious. Do you know why they use ELEX?
It makes them stronger, of course. Greater strength, lower levels of fatigue, reduced pain. It turns men into fighting machines, and not just physically. ELEX keeps them clear thinking. It removes the emotions that could get in the way of orders.
So it means no one can argue with orders.
It reduces the chances. That's one of the reasons Alps are so successful. They operate together without question.
Not all of them. Some operate alone.
Then you've heard of the Elexitors. They rule in Zakor. They still consume ELEX, but they are given a command role.
You mean like Wardek and Kallax? Or Jax? Have you heard of them?
Yes, they are names to be feared. Though I had heard that Jax had disappeared.
So the rumors say. What else do you know about the Alps?
That they have as good as or better knowledge of technology than the clerics. That's because you and them have something in common.
Me? What have I got in common with Alps?
An interest in history. The Elexitors, well, I don't know for sure, but they have found some fragments of old world information. They're using that knowledge.
They're interested in the old world?
No, not at all. They just want the technology. Interest is emotional. The past is something that's gone. They want the future.
Interesting. Not many people seem to think about what the Alps want.
That's all I know.
That was very informative. Thank you.
Tell me about Magellan's past.
Gladly. What would you like to know?
Tell me about Tavar.
Well, it might not seem like there's a lot of history here, but this place hasn't always been desert. When the comet hit, it turned this place into the wasteland you see. But not everything was destroyed. Some building complexes, like the fort, survived. Others were buried. When the sand shifts, other buildings appear. And then all the things that were left in them are there for the taking. Not that everything that's buried is good. Logan, the Duke as he's known today, they're sitting on a powder keg. Back before the comet hit, they stored weapons there. Serious, end-of-the-world weapons. And they're still there, somewhere, along with a whole stack of the usual kind.
You think the fort will blow up?
I know it doesn't feel safe knowing they are there. Maybe all it takes is a mistake. Maybe it takes an earthquake. But there's a real risk there. Hell, maybe the clerics or someone knows about those bombs already. Maybe someone will try and set them off. That's why I want shards. I want to be a long way from here if those things ever go off.
What do you know about the Berserkers?
They were a group living up in the woods, trying to grow their own food, and they evolved from there. Everyone else was fighting for what was left, but they decided to make something new. It was some guy called Amric that started them. The new guy they have there, Thorold, the Pilgrim, sees himself as some sort of spiritual successor to Amric. He has changed things there. They're pushing out into the world more than they did. The Berserkers used to stay in Edan mostly. They'd fight to protect their borders, make assaults outside them, and then pull back. Now they're holding ground. It seems the Pilgrim wants to purify all of Edan. They're gonna use their world hearts to change the world. They want to use their magic to turn the clock back and make Magalan what it was. Well, they'll change it. But whether Magalan was ever like they say, that's just a fantasy.
How much do you know about the clerics?
Secretive lot. They probably know more about history than the others, but they keep it to themselves. But this god they believe in, Kalan, I haven't seen anything anywhere about this god in records from before the comet hit. Why they've created a god and worship technology? Well, I can't understand it. Everything else they do is about knowledge and fact and observation. So why invent a lot of hocus pocus to go with it?
Why did the clerics have so few men?
The wars. They put their faith in their fighting machines. But either their prayers weren't answered or they had a technological hitch. They went into battle with the Berserkers and their machines shut down. They were defeated. Heavy losses. Those left retreated into Ignadon. Anyone that didn't make it back was cut down by one faction or another. The clerics' numbers never recovered. I guess they must have fixed whatever the problem was with their fighting machines. It's never happened again.
Tell me about the factions.
Well, their recent history. I mean, they only came about after the comet hit. Before that, there were countries and governments. Millions of people organized into groups. Nothing like now. But the comet destroyed all that. There aren't really records from after the comet hit. No one was writing things down. They were just trying to survive. No leaders. All the things they relied on to survive had gone. But it didn't take long for people to form groups to get resources. And it didn't take long for those people to start fighting. All factions think they've got ways to save us. They're all just ways people are trying to survive.
So, there are a lot of gaps in your knowledge of history?
Well, some. There were more records kept during the territory wars. That was once the factions had formed and started fighting each other. I guess as soon as you're a group, you want to start keeping a history of who you are. History becomes more important. Anyway, instead of fighting over 1 or 2 tins, the factions started fighting over land. ELEX. Resources. Any small factions that were left got absorbed or destroyed. I mean, these people were survivors, so you'd think that's what they'd want. To survive. Instead, there were yet more deaths. There aren't numbers, but I'd guess at least half of those still alive were killed. That's just a guess. Finally, the people in charge realized the cost was too high, so they formed a council, the Great Council of Magalan, and made a non-aggression treaty.
A non-aggression treaty? That doesn't seem to have worked.
Well, peace is always fragile. The Berserkers and Clerics have totally different ideas about ELEX and technology, for a start. But after all the deaths, the factions knew they risked their own destruction if they fought anymore. So, the peace lasted, more or less. There are always some hotheads, some isolated clashes over resources. But the leaders brought their people back into line. All the factions rebuilt their lands, worked on their own rules.
So, what went wrong?
The Alps. They were just a small splinter group. They went up into Zakor, into the ice, and no groups were interested in that land. They built their strength, and then they invaded. The factions were taken completely by surprise. The Alps captured people, land, built their converters before the factions could respond. What happened to the prisoners, the dead? History doesn't speak of that.
I've heard enough.
At least you did listen. That's not always the case today.
Give me the cleric's weapon.
Why should I give it to you?
We help each other out, right?
Well, you had a beer from me, so yeah, all right. You can have it.
I'm in.
I got a bad feeling about this place.
That's not any use to me now. Got it.
You're not a reaver. You don't look like a reaver. Normally, the ruins only attract reavers. But if you were a reaver, I'd have a bullet in the head already.
Are you collecting scrap?
Collecting? You don't collect it out here. Every last bastard piece you find, you have to fight for it.
Sounds like you're having trouble.
Welcome to Tavar. Trouble here every day. To make it worse, it's mostly from outlaws, my own people. Everyone else on Magalan is scared of owls. I'm watching my neighbors. Doesn't seem to mean anything that I collect more from the ruins than the other collectors. I suppose I should just be happy I'm still alive and that there's normally something left for me in these ruins. Otherwise, I'd just starve out here.
The scrap baron wants that scrap delivered.
I know, but I can't send it to him. I can't. I don't have a choice.
You think the scrap baron will be interested in your excuses?
No, I know he won't. I know he'll want me dead, but I told you, all scrap has to go to the new boss. I told you I don't have a choice.
And who is the new boss?
Vault, he's he's the lord of the island. He's on the island. That's all I can say. I can't tell you anymore. But it's best if you stay away from that island, unless you want your head scrambled. Yeah, I'm
You're hiding something from me.
Well, I'm not hiding anything. I just can't say
What can't you say?
anything. There's something in my mind. He gets what he wants.
So asking that isn't going to get me anywhere.
Stories of the life that used to live in the sea. Maybe we can use magic to restore that too.
There was something hanging there.
Do you think you're invisible or something?
Got it.
I hate thieves.
Damn.
Get that thief!
What's wrong with you?
Got it.
You hurt your back?
That's not any use to me now.
May Kalan bless you. Now tell me, are you a son of Tavar? Did you swear allegiance to the Duke and his outlaws?
Why do you want to know?
Why would you hide the answer? So, are you an outlaw?
I'm not part of any faction.
Then you can stay here as my guest. All clerics offer a hand to all free people. I hope one day you will come to serve Kalan. Remember my hospitality when you come to make your choice.
What is your job here?
We need a lot of raw materials to feed our smelting furnaces in Ignadan. Material that is essential for our fighting machines. And we can get those resources right here.
Why here of all places? It's a long way from Ignadan.
Here, we achieve two things at once. We acquire the resources we need, and we also deny them to the enemy. The Duke relies on profits to keep power. We cut off his profits, and there's a chance his men will overthrow him.
You're not worried about the Duke finding out where you are?
We've been careful.
Maybe you haven't been careful enough.
What do you mean?
The Scrap Baron has noticed that his deliveries have stopped.
Damn, I feared stopping them completely was pushing our luck. Kalan is right. Greed will be our undoing.
So, what's your plan?
I will have to rethink our strategy. An open fight could mean losses in men and material. So, I think finding a way to throw off his suspicions would be our best course.
What can I do?
I will make sure the outlaws get their deliveries from time to time. Just enough so that suspicion is decreased. You need to sell that lie. Make it sound like everything is getting back to normal. Can I count on your assistance?
You can count on me.
Good, but be careful. If you're caught, the outlaws don't tend to be subtle when they're angry.
You should be more worried about the outlaws attacking you.
We have persuaded those who found us to keep our presence a secret. These weak-minded outlaws cannot stand against Kalan's will. They'll take any order I suggest to them. You have to keep your orders simple, but if you do, even an outlaw can understand what they must do.
How long will they obey you for?
As long as I want it. In their eyes, I am their new god.
Wait, you used suggestion on the outlaws? Did they resist it?
My rate of success was high, but suggestion isn't without problems.
What problems?
One outlaw resisted. He wasn't as dumb as he looked. I thought I got through to him, but I was wrong. He ran when he got the chance.
And you let him get away?
That wasn't the plan. He escaped in the night, so it was too dangerous to go after him. Out in that darkness, we could have blundered into 100 outlaws trying to get that one back. I sent a patrol out to bring him back as soon as it was light. If he'd told the other outlaws, they would be here already. And despite his resistance, our ex-prisoner is a coward. He's hiding out there somewhere. I want him, and I want my property back.
Your property?
Yes. When he got away, he stole my weapon. Just make sure I get my weapon back, and I guarantee him his life.
I can help you get your weapon back.
Thank you. It is a scar on my honor to leave it in the hands of an outlaw. Bring it back to me.
I got your weapon back.
Then I am grateful, and Kalan will hear your words. I would back you if you wanted to join the clerics. You have potential. Take this as a gesture of our appreciation.
Get that thief!
Find someone else to talk to.
Very well.
What the fuck do you want?
Power, shards, and an easy life. How about you?
Already got them. They're overrated. I really don't like small talk, so tell me what you want or leave me the fuck alone.
Who the fuck are you?
You really want to know who I am? You really want to know? Tough shit.
I was hoping at least one person in the fort knows what's going on. Are you that person?
Maybe. Listen, I meet a dickhead a day who tries lines on me. So unless you've got some real business, or unless my brother the Duke sent you, take the talk to someone else.
Sure. Okay.
I've heard about what you've been doing here. You've blown into Tavar and stirred things up. Most newcomers start at the bottom and take years to crawl up. You're making enemies here. You know that? Some people are getting upset by your successes.
Yeah.
Yet here you are, already getting people to trust you. Question is, are you going to stay and help build things here in the fort? Or blow out of here as quickly as you blew in?
If you want me to stay, you have to give me a reason to stay.
You've got a whole lot of mouth, haven't you? We're going on a little trip, you and me. Then, we'll find out who you really are.
When do we go?
This is the way you prove to me you're ready to stay. And that it's worth the Duke keeping you on. This is the time to prove it. Okay?
So the Duke is your brother. Is he your own relation here?
William's my cousin, but it takes more than blood to make you a relation. William works for the Duke. He gets things done his way, I get things done my way.
If you don't know the past, you'll screw your own future.
I'm not gonna worry about that.
About these favors you want. Your scrap will be delivered soon.
Better be right.
It's coming.
Right. You got it done. Anything else to tell me?
The scrap collectors have a problem with some clerics.
Clerics? If there's a problem with clerics, then how the fuck am I going to get my scrap?
Do you want me to figure it out?
I want to know if you're playing both sides. Me and the clerics. Split the scrap? Take the profits? Is that what you're trying to do? Play me?
Give me a second chance to prove myself.
I shouldn't have given you a first one. You do anything else for me, you'd better play it straight, and you better not fuck up. You tried to cheat me, and you want payment? No chance. These clerics. Maybe I can find a way to use them to my advantage. You can tell them you fooled me and take their shards, but you can remember my generosity.
About these favors you want. Any other opportunities for profits?
That's single-minded. Okay, just don't fuck this up. Get this done right. The instructions are simple. Think you can follow them?
Just tell me what you want doing.
I need a debt paying. It doesn't matter what else you do here in the fort. You have got to pay your debts. Otherwise, you're no one. So I need you to sort out what I owe.
Who do you owe?
Ace. He always gets lucky in cards. Maybe too lucky. I lost big to him the other day, and I've got to clear that debt. But I don't feel like seeing him. I might forget he was lucky and get angry with a fast-dealing bastard.
Did he cheat?
Maybe. Maybe not. But I lost, and people saw it. My name counts where it has to, and that means paying your debts. This IOU is worth 1,000 shards, and I'll add a little bonus to go with it. Just as a big, warm thank you to Ace.
I'll take care of your debt with Ace.
Take the shards. Do the job. Don't fuck up. Here. And of course, don't forget my little present for Ace. Put them in Ace's place, near the marketplace. Put them on the table, or somewhere obvious.
Nothing else.
Right. Good. Here. This is your share for helping me out.
The scrap collectors have a problem with some clerics. Scrap is profit. Isn't that what you believe?
My profit. Any profit belongs to me, asshole. You tried to cheat me, and you want payment? No chance. These clerics. Maybe I...
I spoke to the scrap baron.
Did you convince him he doesn't have to worry about his shipment?
Yes.
Good, good. Then we can continue with the mission. Take this. In the name of Kalan.
Yeah, the leaders there are such fanatics.
Have we got enough guards on duty?
The Scrap Baron
it
wants
never
to
feels
settle
like we
the
have
gambling
enough.
debts.
And they said not to play him. Now here comes the payday of them all. Opportunity, opportunity, you've got to take your chance. I hope you get your chance too, my friend. When you do, take it.
A casket.
Where is it?
I left it in your shack.
Mine and my brother's shack. We share everything. When he gets back, we're going to split these earnings. We'll both get a new start. Man, and to think they told me not to play the Baron. They'll eat those words now.
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
Do you really think that?
Stop being an asshole.
Yeah, the leaders there are such fanatics.
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
Do you really think that?
Nah. Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
About these favors you want. I've completed that delivery for you.
Just in time. I just heard his brother is back. I hope he enjoys the surprise you left him.
What was in the casket I left?
Spade and his brother. They were always inseparable. It would be a crime not to bring them back together.
What was that?
That was the surprise. I bet Spade just jumped for joy.
There was a bomb in that casket?
You did good work. You're in danger of making me trust you.
You're a sick bastard.
Debts need to be paid. Take this. And I don't forget favors either. You're free to use Ace and Spade's shacks as your own. Move in whenever you want.
What the fuck? What time is it?
Ike has taken over as guard at the gate.
Good. Hopefully he'll do a better job than his predecessor. Here, thank you for taking care of that.
About these district overseers. Mad Bob will start his scrap deliveries again.
Good. We need that scrap. Profit is good for all of us. You survived Mad Bob. You must have a knack for getting on with people. That could be useful. You did a good job dealing with the district overseers. He will be pleased. Maybe you should think of joining us. The fort is open to you. Profit breeds profit. You can take your shards.
I want to join the outlaws.
You've proved yourself. So yes, we can open the door. You'll have to work your way up. There's no way around that. And remember, this decision is final. Once an outlaw, always an outlaw. You can't go off and start trying to join other factions. Understood?
Give me some time to think about it.
Okay. If you do decide to join us, you know where to find me. What the fuck are you doing? Well, just fuck off, will you?
You can't pass up that opportunity.
I wonder if he was serious about that. Hey! Stay right there.
Is there a problem?
That's what we're going to find out. You've got 5 seconds to start talking about the Elexit you've brought with you. If you're not worth something, you're not worth anything here. So tell me, do you want to own or be owned? Little Liam here is almost burned out. He needs replacing.
Is this a come on, or are you trying to work out how much Elexit I've got?
If you had Elexit, you wouldn't be asking questions. You'd be telling people what you're worth. The cage is off limits without my special permission. Time for you to move on. If you're looking for entertainment, try the entertainment district. It's in the name.
What's the cage for?
Asshole storage. Anyone who messes with the Duke ends up in there. If they're lucky. Bow to the Duke. Hear the Duke. Don't fuck with the Duke. That's our outlaw version of the Berserker's laws.
Have you thought of setting that to music?
You should ask the Duke. He's famous for his sense of humor.
Do you take many prisoners?
Only where there's a profit. Sometimes to serve as an example to others. But a slit throat and a shallow grave does that better. Frank, over there, is a cleric. He's serving as an example, and he's proving useful sometimes. He has a brain the Duke wants to pick.
How did Frank get here?
The cleric sent some of Kalan's little soldiers over the border. They soon learned the Duke is more powerful than Kalan. His friends ran. We took this one prisoner.
So, who's more powerful, you or Kalan?
Ha! He prays to me. This cleric knows that. He knows he needs to give up his secrets. It's me, not Kalan, who decides the pain he feels and whether he gets to live, or if I'll kill him for doing something stupid like trying to escape. He and Liam, they know me well. Oh, yeah, and if this cleric wants to get you involved in anything, don't listen. He promised a set of shards to Bat, and that dipshit of a runner believed him. Bat lasted 3 days in the cage. Weakling.
From what I've heard, you haven't got the best reputation.
Is that right? That's just because I'm the one who is prepared to get my hands dirty getting things done. So speak up. Who has been bad-mouthing me? Come on. Open your mouth and speak. Which skin flap has been opening their mouth, and what do they say?
I'm not telling you a thing.
You think you can withhold information from me? I'll break every damn bone in your body.
You like to talk, don't you?
You think I'm all talk? Wow, have you got it wrong?
Enough talk. Let's get this over with.
Another asshole, another corpse. You are dead.
Too easy.
You're a prisoner here?
Only in body. My mind and spirit are free. I won't waste words on an unbeliever. Kalan will punish you all.
How were you captured?
What does that matter? Unless you were sent here by my legate.
I wasn't sent.
Then my words would be wasted on you. I have no reason to tell you anything. Don't think I'll give you their coordinates or tell you anything else about my brothers in Kalan. So, leave me.
Do you know the captive cleric, Frank?
No. Or maybe I just forgot. I don't recognize him from Igniton. Why are you asking me?
I want to find his old unit.
Okay, let's do this and do it quickly. I can guess where they're located. I'll transmit the coordinates to your adjutor. Just don't tell me what you're going to do with this information. It is better that you keep it to yourself. Under no circumstances do I want to know what your motives are or what you're doing. Okay?